y'all, Comic Girl Cosplay here with my next YouTube video in my series A Beginner's Guide to Cosplay. In this video we're going to be going over armor and prop pieces. So the first consideration you want to make when you're looking into prop and armor pieces is what is the prop or armor piece made out of. Some of the commonly used materials for the basis for props and armor are plastic, Warbla, craft foam, EVA foam, upholstery and expanding foam, Sculpey, air dry clay, and wood. When considering what material the proper armor piece is going to be made out of, it's always important to check to see if it's a convention-safe material. The prop and armor rules will vary from convention to convention, so it's important to check the rules ahead of time to make sure you don't have to leave your props or armor behind at the weapons check. The next consideration you should make when looking into your props and armor materials is, will the material be durable enough? You really want to consider if the material will be durable enough for traveling to and from the convention, and for just regular con wear and tear. And the last consideration you want to make when looking into the material for your props and armor is, will the material be light enough to carry around? Remember, this prop and these armor pieces will be things you're going to have to carry around all day, and even the lightest of props can feel really heavy after a while of carrying them. The next consideration you want to make when looking into your props and armor is, how big will the piece be? Remember that if you're going to be traveling to the convention, whether it be driving, busing, taking the train, or flying, you're going to need to fit your props and armor into the designated travel space. The next consideration you want to make for the size of your prop and armor pieces is, does it come apart? If your prop is too big to travel with, can you detach it into smaller pieces and then reassemble it? A really good example of this are detachable handles and collapsible handles that come on some props. You also want to make sure that the size of your props and armor pieces follow the convention rules. Like I said earlier, these rules will vary from convention to convention. It's also just important to note that some conventions can't handle overly massive costumes or props. Also, when you're going to be at a convention with a large costume or with a costume with very large props, it's always a good idea to have a handler with you. The next considerations you want to make when it comes to props and armor pieces are if there are any special considerations you need to make. Some examples of this are if there are going to be lights, if there are going to be moving parts to your costume, or if there are going to be any very fragile pieces you need to be mindful of. You're going to want to take into consideration any extra spare parts you may need to bring, for example, an extra set of batteries, or if once again there are any fragile parts that you need to be very mindful of. You also don't want battery packs and wires showing on your costume, so it's always a good idea to find a fun, creative way to hide these. Also, for armor pieces, there is one extra special consideration you need to keep in mind. Will it let you move and bend the way you need to move and bend? Movement is key for making you more comfortable at a convention. An example of this is, does your knee armor let you bend enough that you can sit down, that you can potentially bend down to pick something up that you've dropped, or that you could even walk properly? Washroom breaks are also very important to consider when you're thinking about this, not just for the mobility's sake, but also for the sake of being able to fit into the stall, and also how easy it's going to be to take off and to put back on all of your pieces. And lastly, if you're going to be making or modifying props or armor, don't forget to finish and seal. Sealing your props and armor after you finish painting will help prevent chipping and nicks in the paint. Well, that's it for this video. Until next time, when the uncanny adventures of Comic Girl Cosplay continue.